HighPriest here, and welcome back to First Impressions. Today, I just came back from watching Solo, a Star Wars movie, and despite a proclamation of doom I've heard at least from one person in regards to... in regards to this movie, because of its changing hands, I believe, directors, I don't know, I tried to stay away from it. I think this was a really good movie. Not a perfect movie. But even, despite what people claim, even the original trilogy are not perfect movies. They have, at least on their own. The thing that makes the original trilogy as great as they are is the synergy of them working together. Which is, sidetrack, for me, the biggest flaw of the prequel trilogy. And I can't say about the sequel trilogy because it's not over yet. The prequel trilogy did not work together as a cohesive whole, really. The same way the original trilogy did. I know I'm reviewing Solo, but I'm just gonna say this now. I don't think the episode 2 or 3 were really all that bad. I thought 3 was actually really good. It legitimately a good movie, but look at that later at a different time. Which is why I bring up this. On its own, I don't think this movie. I think this movie has some flaws. But I'm pretty sure they're aiming for a sequel, a part 2. And if they're not, then it's got a lot of flaws. I mean, it works somewhat well in regards to greater canon, but it needs a second half. Even if that second half is an hour and a half special. I mean, a half hour special. Why does it need a second half? Well, that would involve entering... Actually, I think I'll just... It's spoiler territory, but we're not there yet. First, I'm going to talk about the characters. You know, the ones we all want to see. Lando, Han, Chewie, and... Yeah, no! Oh yeah, the most important character. The most important character of all. The Millennium Falcon. And the Millennium Falcon's character comes right through. True as can be. Chewie's great as always. I don't think there's ever been a bad performance by Chewie's actor or a bad characterization for Chewie's character, so I don't even think anybody complained about Chewie in the sorry, popcorn. New movie. In the sequel trilogy. Let's get down to Han. This movie is about the origins of Han. From his youth to, well, his still youth, but as a young man rather than a teenager. It doesn't spend a lot of time on the area between, which I'm not a big fan of, but it is a flashback movie anyway, so it gets a pass for some time skips, but Han is not exactly Han as we know him. I'm not considering this a spoiler because it's an origin movie for the character, and as that, I think it works, again, on its own, mostly well. You can see traces of who Han is, and sequel, mixed up. The original trilogy of who he'd become. But you can also see traces of who him gaining, I should say, traces of what he was. But the actor did a top-notch performance, in my opinion. He's not the greatest actor ever, but he's not bad anyway, and he's not decent. He's good. And I liked a lot of moments in the movie. I liked it. Hold on. Sorry about that. Okay. That, sort of I wasn't accounting for. Okay. Where was I? Ah, right, character. Point is, I think it works with the film for the most part, and to go in more. There are other characters, but I feel like to address them, I have to go into spoilers. So, well, let's splash a big old spoiler warning right about here. That's mostly so I can find the right spot. But, basically, this is where I'm going to cover the film and talk about. Well, I'm going to try to decipher my notes, but look, you try taking notes in a dark fucking theater. It's hard. Right, okay. So, now, where do I address first? Alright, well, there's the whole origin of Solo itself, the very beginning. I mean, we all know he was Corellian, but a Corellian orphan who was taken in to do thievery and other shit for Lady Proxima is not something we knew. I could easily see that in the origin. I think, I'll be honest, and I'll say that young Hana as youngest is probably a bit optimistic for my taste for someone coming from that situation, but that's just me. I don't think it's a bad choice, it's just not what I would have made. But then that kind of robs Han of his character journey to become more cynical. Which, I'll just finish my earlier thought, Han still hasn't finished that journey. He shot his mentor, Vias Beckett, but even then, he still believed in his girlfriend, which, you know, I think I'll cover the events via this. A lot of these are my, or comments on things. First of all, I was expecting the girlfriend to die, you know, how his cynicism and all that. I wasn't expecting her to show up, I was expecting him to get back there, find she's dead, and then go off on a journey of no hope with just doing crime and bad things and shit, but without his main goal gone. I did not realize I was trying to figure out for this movie, when is when is Lando coming in? When is Chewie coming in? When are we gonna get the Falcon? When is he gonna fly the Falcon? And I'll say this much, none of those moments were disappointed, but yeah, I expected the girlfriend to die. And I'll say this, I was not expecting Lady Proxima to be the girlfriend doesn't die, but obviously, but she was given off death flags, at least for that part. But I was not expecting Lady Proxima to be a talking pinnacle monster. That was a surprise. The scene with the Rock was great, though. Always a Han moment. He keeps trying to bullshit his way through things, and it never really works. And that is completely in character for Han. Even years later, the bullshit he fed Jabba to try to keep him off his back, that was standard. Just as standard as thermal defecator, or fine, how are you? This Han is not always so good at the bullshitting and the fast talk, but man, is it fun to watch him try, anyways. And yeah, he beats up, managed to escape. I'm sorry, a vampiric tentacle monster, because she Hold on, what? I was getting a message on this thing about encoding error, not anything to fear. Right, okay, because the moment sun shone, she started to burn and shit. I'm like, not expecting that. But yeah, so he attempts to escape with the girlfriend, of course, and during the escape, he attempts to one of his crazy maneuvers. The one where he turns sideways, flies through two closing together things and such, and he fucks it up. Because he's a speeder, not a fucking spaceship, and even a spaceship probably wouldn't pull it off as well as the Millennium Falcon could. And yeah, well, I was expecting the dice that was given to Leia to show up there. That's a nice touch. Sorry about that. Dan, thanks for talking, Nate. But yeah, which was a nice touch. I wasn't expecting it. Yeah, see, I've got lots of scribbles here, but I can't read them because some of them didn't take. But I couldn't see them in the thing. And then I did. But yeah, they get to the place, bribe an Imperial official, good old Imperial bureaucracy, corrupt in your favor. And also not in your favor, but that's, again, Imperial bureaucracy. So Han bribes them with something he stole from the good Lady Proxima. They bribe him and the girl out. They hide. He enrolls to become a pilot. Bumps out of the academy because he's really bad at following orders. Ends up becoming a soldier. And that was right. Someone, where are we going? He says to his leader. To victory! Boom! Goes the leader. And then, of course, there is the quick shot with the gun, Tobias, who I immediately pegged would be his mentor. I thought it would be an army mentor before he betrayed, but no, thief stealing a dead guy's uniform, which is actually kind of clever. But yeah, thanks to that, a lot of the other guys managed to survive. But Han, along with Han, they survive to get out. Han figures out there's something up with them. I had the bad habit of mouthing off to superiors. He gets in trouble. Figures out that they're thieves. They're to steal a ship, and he wants on, because, hey, he wants it away from there. And when they refuse, he threatens to blackmail them. Oh, and of course, it's hilariously, because, see, while his points were valid, and if he had actually had a chance to voice them to someone who was inclined to listen to them, it totally would have worked. His blackmail would have worked. Unfortunately, he had the bad habit of pissing off all the Imperial officers so that they're more likely to listen to the suspicious captain over him. Once again, Imperial bureaucracy at work. And they throw him to the Beast. And of course, you instantly key on that the Beast is going to be Chewbacca and he's going to free him. It's great that they don't exactly get along at first, but I like that how their genuine friendship grows. But yeah, it was very lucky for them that the pilot managed to convince Beckett to pick up Han, mostly because they want Chewie. Yes, so they off, do their job, have a brief bonding scene where we find out all these people who I can't remember the names. Well, I couldn't remember the names at the time, but I did when they died, for the most part. Tobias Beckett eventually had his name said in a way I could actually understand, but I'm not very good at remembering names or even catching them when people say them. I'm the guy who has to go back, like, what? Even when I'm paying attention, I don't always catch names or faces. But, yeah, when they're dying, they're being screamed out loud enough to understand. So, yeah, where we meet Val, Rio, and, truly meet Val, Rio, and Tobias Beckett. And then, of course, things quickly go south. Things go wrong, and Han is they try to steal a bunch of thing I gotta love, the way the movie ties around that Quaxian stuff. I don't really know how it's Quaxian. The starship fuel. I love how that keeps popping up. It starts off as just a little bit that Han steals and uses to bribe his way to freedom. Then it becomes stuff they're trying to steal from a Imperial shipment on a train. Before things, of course, go wrong. Some badass pirates show up, fuck everything up, kill Rio. This ends up causing Val's booby traps to be alerted. She sacrifices herself. And then leaving only Han, Chewie, and Tobias Beckett to try to get the thing, and they're all getting their ass kicked. I like the theme. I really like the chain trace scene really well. I also really like Rio. I think that was his name. I'm pretty sure. Out of all the characters we learned in that scene, I mean, Tobias Beckett was great, but yeah, Rio was also pretty good. And I liked his death scene really well. You know, how he was thankful that he didn't really die alone there. And yeah, that was a nice scene. And I really it was a good action-packed scene, especially with the whole point where the speeders and the ship are playing tug-of-war with the explosive starship fuel with the mountain in the way. I mean, look, Bennett was pissed, but there was no way. Tobias was pissed. There was no way Han could have salvaged that. Not at that time. If he had the Falcon, maybe. But even then, it's unlikely. He really should. And to blame them for that. Yeah, he needed this stuff. But you're going to die either way, buddy. And as you said later on, you prefer living to dying. And, yeah, I really like the quirky characters of Rio and Val, mostly Rio. They were great to meet and learn. And Beckett. Let's get into Beckett. I really like Beckett. He makes a great mentor of Han. It was obvious he was going to die, of course. His death was set definitive. I didn't know how he was going to die. Maybe his death, because I thought, once we, of course, learned his girlfriend is alive and we're bad guys, I thought things would go south, she would end up trying to kill them under orders, Tobias would eventually end up sacrificing himself, and the whole thing would leave Han sour to the entire idea of being a good guy for years. Until, of course, the original trilogy occurs. It doesn't exactly happen that way. Oh, his girlfriend does betray him, and I want to take a moment to talk about the characters of Beckett and his girlfriend, who I can't remember how her name is said, Kay something. I like Beckett. He's a very good paranoid dashing rogue character. He's, well, a Han Solo character, really. So it really works that he taught Han a lot of what he would become. Though, admittedly, he's much better at bullshitting than Han ever is. Just, God damn it, Han. God damn it. The girlfriend... I don't... Look, it was blindingly obvious she was going to betray him. I just didn't know when, where, and why. I don't think she really got enough character. She keeps talking about how he would understand the things she's done, and I don't even know what she's done. I just don't... It just doesn't... She does not feel like the strongest of characters, really, if he had been real. She's probably the weakest character on the cast, if I had to say so. But, yeah. So, anyways, to continue on where I left off, they fail. They have to go back to Beckett's bosses, try to beg forgiveness. That didn't work. Try to beg a chance to go to a new job. And it's... Yeah. They might have actually gotten an easier job, thanks to Han's girlfriend in there, but you know Han! He had to bullshit his... He always tries to fast talk his way. This time it actually worked in his favor somewhat. A lot, really, in the long run, but he wouldn't know that for years. Bullshit his way into trying to steal some raw correction, unrefined. This is a very beautiful thing. They have to steal it, they have to get it to the refinery before it explodes. And I forgot to mention, yeah, he meets his girlfriend on the ship of Beckett's bosses. She's there, and is essentially the right-hand woman of the dude. And of Beckett's bosses, who are actually both unintimidating. So, they need a fast ship, a good pilot, and then to go and steal these guys from a rival faction. All in a way that doesn't actually point the finger at them, because they've got a thin alliance with the faction. Han donated them as disposable assets. Not his brightest idea. Still, it works. The team plus Han's girlfriend get sent off to collect a good ship. Thankfully, she knows a guy with a really good ship. Lando Calrissian. Lando motherfucking Calrissian. Ah, he is fantastic. Seeing him at his prime is so good. Ah. Lando is full of shit. I love it. He is so full of shit. He is so full of himself. And it's not entirely wrongly so, and it's great, and I honestly would have... If this was Lando Calrissian, a Star Wars movie, I'd have gone to it a heartbeat. It's not, but yeah, it was great. They go there to try to use his ship. Thing is, she has a plan, but Han, being Han, decides to go bet on it using his luck. His exceptionally phenomenal luck, which honestly leads me to believe that Han might actually be a Force-assisted person. Not in the term of like Luke or so, but more like what that one guy from the Jedi Temple, a Jedi Temple on or whatever it was called. The blind guy from Rogue One. Yeah. I just realized my arm was covered in ink from the pen getting ink on me during the movie. Yeah. I can barely see in there. I can barely see my way to the seats. But, yeah. He tries to, of course... Man, this movie sticks in my head I barely even need. My notes. I might look over them if I misremember something. So the movies keep going, of course. The movie keeps going. Of course. But, yeah, he tries to win it in a hand of, Sarbach. And this is the particularly humorous part. We all know what happens. We all expect it, and it turns out Lando's a dirty cheat. Lando is a dirty cheat. Han catches him at it, but there's no way he can prove it at that moment, because he just looks bad, and... Yeah, there's just no way he can. Oh, wait, no. Doesn't catch him at that moment. You might suspect something at all, but... Yeah, he wins, but it's not at this time. He gets cheated out of all of his money he won, and the ship he tried to get. Which, to be fair, he only managed to get him to bet the ship because he pretended to have a really nice ship, too. Thankfully, Han's girlfriend had a plan and managed to get Lando to join. Also, thankfully, Tobias Beckett was a good negotiator and managed to talk Lando down to 25%. Of course, it turns out that as awesome as Lando thinks he is, he kind of got his shit pounded. And we can't forget, of course, L3 and the robot Cockerel, the robot fighting race. God, I really like L3 for lots of reasons besides being snarky and sassy. L3 is finally someone in Star Wars recognizing that shit with droids is fucked up. Like, if you aren't aware, this has been a thing a while. It was a thing in Clone Wars too. Basically, if you don't regularly wipe a droid's mind, basically brainwash them, kill them, and replace them with a duplicate, mentally at least, a factory reset of your mind, of their mind, droids will eventually develop a personality of their own, like her. And then there's, of course, restraining them. Also a thing. I don't think it was that easy to remove in the books, but yeah, it really is this book. She is perfectly right in referring to it as Robot Savory, because it is awful in the books. And in the show. I mean, there's a very good reason Anakin refused to wipe R2. Even after R2 got captured by the enemy and they had to mount the rescue mission for a droid. Something just maddening to the Jedi. I mean, yeah, that was like, again, that's something I've never been a complete fan of in the series, and it's good to have it addressed. But yeah, R2's basically like R3, and the fact that he's got free will hit no restraining bolt. He never has. So is C-3PO, really. I think. Maybe he does get wiped every now and again, but yeah, they're, I really liked her robot freedom thing and everything. She was a funny character. And a well-developed one. A smart, old, sassy robot. Performance anxiety. Who's one of the best navigators in the galaxy because of her maps. And I really do like the moment when she is inserted into after her death, when she is inserted into the, becoming part of the Falcon. I really like that. I mean, I don't think we've ever seen any hint of that later in the original trilogy, but it honestly makes sense that one of the big reasons why the Falcon is so awesome. And it's got a part of a droid brain in it that allows it to calculate maps to such a degree. Its navigation abilities are great, combined with having two of the best pilots in the galaxy, Chewie and Han. And, yeah. Anyways, they break out the ship, which, the Falcon looking brand spanking new. I'm reminded of the scene from Men in Black 2. To quote, Jay, new hotness, old and busted. New hotness, old and busted. And much like K, once K got through with the new car, the Millennium Falcon goes from new hotness to new and busted. It's just great. They fly through the ship. You see that Tobias playing the game with Chewie. Han flirting with the girlfriend who, like I said, is not exactly the best character in this movie. It probably sounds worse since I can't remember her name, but honest to God, I know It was Kira. I just did not catch it. That's the problem. I'm terrible at that. I'm lucky I caught. The only reason I caught Val and Rio's names is because they were screamed out loud when they died. But yeah, they with the new ship they fly through the Kessel Run, which we finally learned it's a tunnel through. It's a tunnel through a cloud, a space storm. It's the only safe way to the planet. And it takes a minimum of 20 parsecs. Not as a unit, which, by the way, that's I think that's a great way to explain that line, people. But parsecs are a measurement of distance, not time. Yes, and the Kessel Run used to take a minimum of 20 parsecs to get from point A to B. Now, Han, with the Falcon, can cut through it and do 12. But yeah, they go down, they infiltrate. Chewie rips somebody's arms off, leaving Han with this shitty disguise because the one that would actually fit him was ruined. Tobias, Lando. Tobias in that scene? I can't remember, but Lando and what's her name go in, kick ass, take names, and L3 sets off a robot rebellion, which in turn sets off a slave rebellion, a full-fledged slave rebellion, and L3's having the time of her life while doing her job. Unfortunately, things don't go all well. Chewie manages to track down one of his family, which is what his whole goal is tracking down members of his tribe and or family to return them to Kashyyyk after the events of Episode 3. He finds one there, sets them free, and he finds them there, sets them free, with the momentary assistance by Han, but he has to do the mission. He can't spend time helping Chewie directly, so he passes them his weapon. Thankfully, Chewie and his friend, relative, come in, save his butt once he's got the ever so explosive raw currents. Now they're on a time limit. They have to get back to the ship. Sorry, with the slave rebellion going on, or get it out of that place and within a minimum time limit, which is hard because you need to go at least, because as far as I know, it takes a minimum of 20 parsecs distance to get there, and as fast as that ship is, that's a lot. And then, of course, on the escape, L3 gets shot, and begins dying. Lando gets shot trying to rescue her, but Han manages to rescue him. They escape, get on the ship, only to have an Imperial blockade with a Star Destroyer coming down that storm tunnel. Oh, that is an excellent shot of that Star Destroyer filling in and even just barely poking into the skin of the edges of that storm. Oh, fantastic. Han gets desperate, turns around, and ends up taking a shortcut. He manages to make the Kessel Run in 12 seconds after an excellent, the best scene in the fight, starship fight scene in the movie. I mean, the other one, but the best action scene in the movie, in my opinion. It's just great. Them repairing the ship with the navigation system from L3. The ship getting increasingly more damage as Han performs ever more insane stunts with the ship, And that just amazing feeling of Han being the fucking pilot of the ship. Like, God, that is great. The moment he takes off in the ship, the moment he starts pulling it, the moment, all of them are fantastic. Like, these are the moments you were waiting for when you wanted to watch the movie. You wanted to see Han in the Millennium Falcon pulling stunts and shit to escape from hair's breadth escape from danger. And he does. It's great. Pulls off insane stunts he's seen friends do that got them killed. He repeats the failed car trick and manages to make it work. They escape. They crash land on a beach of the place they need to refine the stuff at, but well, they crash land on it. They had to crash land because they're in such a hurry. They need to get that shit off the ship and start refining, or boom! Thankfully they do. Only for them to quickly be pounced by the space pirate, ambushed by the space pirate before. Now, I fully admit when the space pirate took off the helmet, well, wait, hold on. Of course, there's that great standoff scene. Tobias is tracking it out, and then Han starts doing his scene. He mentioned there being an army of mercenaries in that ship, and they'll swarm them just like that. And that's when Lando gets up and flies away. And oh my god. Oh, that hilarious scene where Lando and Han are staring at the wrecked carcass of the Millennium Falcon. Han tosses over Lando and says, "Hell of a ship, isn't she?" And Lando just gives him this look like, yeah, he's pissed. He's hurt. His ship is destroyed. His friend is kind of dead, sort of. It's weird. He's not happy, and he doesn't want Han near his ship again. So yeah, he cuts tail and runs. Han, realizing he fucked up with that, his little saber, just walks back behind where he was before, side back in. Alright, you got tries to pull off his way, where we find out that the pirates, the ruthless marauders, are the rebellion. Specifically, they're a chunk of the rebellion focused on these criminal organizations that distantly work for the Empire, even if they steal from them on occasion. And, after talking out, Han, of course, being early Han, who is still optimistic and hopeful. Which, again, as I said, it's not something I entirely agree with. I think if this is going to be a self-contained movie, that should have been stamped out by this movie. He should have, almost entirely, I should say. Because I really think it does undercut his turnaround in A New Hope, if that was something he regularly did. Like, now it's entirely possible that he never got close enough to anyone that he let his contract was able to get to him after that point, but like I said, I think there's going to be a sequel, and why is that? Well, of course, Tobias doesn't want any of this. He's a survivor. He doesn't want to piss off his former employers, so he cuts some tail and runs. Except, as we know, turns out he was a traitor. He sold them out in order to save his own skin. And, oh, man, that entire scene where they walked in there with the stuff, and, like, when Han pulled it out, I thought that's probably a fake. And then I'm like, wait, no. Maybe the package is mostly empty, and that's the only actual stuff in there. And they reveal, oh, it's fake. And then the Nasket rebels get targeted and tagged and stuff. Only to reveal, oops, that the real container was empty. Meaning the fake container contained all of it. I was thinking it contained some of it, some of it fake, or indie. I was not expecting it to be all of it until, of course, a few months before that. And it's such a great scene, too. Beckett is lecturing Han for not listening to what he said, never trust an ape. And then Han reveals that he actually was listening to him. And he also said he remembered when he told Chewie that people are predictable. And that so is he. And that's great. And, of course, Beckett double-crossed everybody again, took the shit with them, along with Chewie, and left, leaving Han to deal with his enraged boss and his traitorous girlfriend. And in a very good fight scene, not fantastic, but good at least. It ultimately ends with her boss being killed, her saying they'll run off together, but she needs time to gather the valuables. And then he should go ahead and get Chewie, and she'll be right behind him. The moment he leaves, she pulls a ring off of one guy, walks over, sticks it in a little pedestal, turns, and we see the shadowy master that this man answered to. A hooded figure with mechanical legs sticking out. Eventually, during the conversation, where she says that he was killed by a thief, blaming all the blame on Han, but also not directly applying Han, so she's not selling him out completely, at least. But not selling him out completely, at least. The Master tosses his hood back and reveals Darth Maul. Now, I admit, I didn't catch it at first until he reached up his hand. I'm like, oh, that's Darth Maul. Fiber legs. He looks like Maul. Like, look, he's an alien race. I have no idea how similar the members of his race are together. I've only seen a few I've only seen season 1 of Clone Wars and our way into season 2 before I had to stop because my whole channel got deleted and I was doing reactions to it. I originally did reviews, actually, to season 1, but those are all gone by last channel. Well, a review. Then I did a few reviews to season 2 before moving on to reactions eventually. Then my channel got deleted. Point is, I haven't watched that far in. I know Darth Maul got cyber legs and resurrected in the Clone Wars. Resurrected. He survived, but I didn't know he lived into this era, and I'm just like, what? And a lot of people had to be even more surprised, because not everyone watched the Clone Wars TV series. Like, here he is, Darth Maul, back! Holy shit. What's he doing? Where has he been? Why is he showing this organization? Is he rogue? Is he against Darth Vader? What's going on? But he orders the one surviving member of his minions to rejoin up with them. To come and meet him. So she takes the ship and goes. Han tracks down the guy, and at a moment where, once again, Tobias lectures Han about not trusting him, and now he needs to listen close because he's got one more lesson for him. And you see him just twitch for the gun. And you can tell he's that despite the fact that he's dying, he's proud that Han listened to him. That Han understood the lesson he was trying to teach, not to trust him, because he was going to shoot and kill him. But, much like always, Han shot first. I had to get that shot in there. But yeah, Han shot him. He went down, held him while he died. And you could tell, but yeah, you could tell his mentor was proud of him, even if he didn't teach him nearly as much as we thought he would. Or I thought he would, because of, well, there seemed to be a lot of skills, but it seems to me more like he's the person Han modeled himself after rather than learning directly. He went and learned the skills himself through hard work, but he used his mentor, Tobias, as inspiration. And I really liked Tobias and his death. I knew he was gonna die, I just didn't expect him to be killed by Han, and I think that's really well done. That's a great moment from past Han, helping explain how past Han became current Han, or original trilogy Han. But that doesn't explain everything. For instance, he sees his girlfriend leave and be gone, and everything. You can see the utter betrayal and everything on his face, but once again, I think she's one of the least elements of the film. And he still seems to hold on to at least some of his optimism from before. He goes, delivers the stuff to the Nascent rebels, or at least this chunk of the rebellion, before they were united in Rogue One. And gets paid a minor amount. They leave. They finally track down Hondo. It's trending to hit, and it's great. Well, Hondo's like telling one of his braggart stories and then like, oh shit. Hey, Han, buddy, pal, how are you? And Han threatens to have Chewie rip his arms off, and he might have even was going to, until he saw the card in Hondo's sleeve. At which point, he reached over, pulled the surprised Hondo into a hug, laughed, clapped his back, stole the card from him, stole his cheating card, and then it reveals that all he got from the job was this pitiful amount, but I'm pretty sure it's enough to fit in. And so things go like horrible. In the end, it's only Han and Londo left. Londo puts his ship up, confident in his cheat, and he's still got a good hand. So all he needs to do is be better than Han, except Han's got a better hand. He didn't even have to use the card he took from Lando, which is extra hilarious. It's like he rubbed it in. Fucking great. He won the ship. They go, and of course the movie ends with Han and Chewie loading up the ship, ready to head to Tatooine, which he learned about this new job. And just proving put together by some gangster on Tatooine from Bias. And he's off to begin serving Jabba the Hutt. And I just loved a lot of that movie. But that ending is fucking sickle bait. I'm sorry, but what the if this movie doesn't get a sequel, then I'm actually going to be kind of pissed about Darth Maul and his girlfriend. His girlfriend surviving this, and Darth Maul still being in it at all. What the if there's no sequel where this eventually leads to some level of confrontation against Maul, even if Han never actually finds out about him, and something else kills Maul, then it was entirely pointless. That's why I'm convinced there has to be a sequel. Because if not, this movie is much worse, just because of that bit with Darth Maul. I really enjoyed it, but it really doesn't work with the overall part of the film, unless there's a sequel. Like I said, one of the key points to me with a series of movies, and you know there are series, you don't just take the movie on its own attributes. You gotta figure out how it fits into the overall puzzle of the series. Sometimes it's just its sequels itself, it's the overall series if it's an old one, For instance, like, let's take Iron Man 1, 2, and 3. Not a lot of people like Iron Man 3. I'll admit it's not the strongest in the trilogy. It's a decent movie, but in some ways, it's actually kind of worse when you stack it up with the first two Iron Man movies. Or, the best example, the original trilogy. Episode 1 is shit. Not the original trilogy, prequel trilogy. Episode 1 is shit. There's some redeeming factors about it. I enjoyed watching it, but while it's an enjoyable movie, for me, it's not a good movie. Kid Anakin is insufferable. Jar Jar is fine, really, but the things between Padme and him are kind of dumb and not well executed. And I'm saying this in comparison to the others. And outside the light and fucking midichlorians. The movie did have its strong points here and there, but it was a great movie. But even more so, it was horrible in part of the greater trilogy. Conversely, A New Hope is an okay movie and nowhere near as good as as the, quite frankly, fanatical fan base who practically fucking worships it at times, and in some cases just straight up worships it, think it is. But as a part of a larger trilogy, it turns the trilogy into this masterpiece. But on its own, it's a good movie, groundbreaking for its time, but it would have ultimately been pretty forgettable if it wasn't for its sequels. So there has to be a direct sequel to this movie, where with someone older on, but not yet that old, where we finish up the loose ends from this movie, where we see Han finally become that cynical, somewhat greedy individual we know him to be later on. The one who would, until the last second, refuse to do the right thing. Because in this movie, that's the key point. He might say otherwise, but he's pretty quick to do the right thing anyways. Overall, though, I think this movie is pretty great. But again, like I said, if there's not a direct sequel to this at some point, Solo 2, which, by the way, the origin is saying Solo alone. But if there's not a direct sequel to the movie, finishing up these loose plot hooks and everything, taking care of Darth Maul and his ex-girlfriend, I think the movie will be ultimately much worse for it. If I had to rate the movie, I'd say 7.5 out of, or 8 out of 10 stars, somewhere in there. I'm not so great at ratings. Yeah, this is probably one of the more negative reviews. But while most of my first impression series is based on my first impressions of something, it's just, this movie didn't have me nearly as caught in the gushing as much as Episode 8 did. I ended up overlooking some of the flaws during that, and I'm not going to go into that, but I still think that movie's fantastic. I just think it's got some glaring flaws. Even then I talked about some problems with that movie. But, right. On topic. Point is, I really like this movie. I really recommend you watch this movie if you've watched this far. And I really do think this is a good addition to the franchise. I also hope whatever happens here ties into Rebels. I haven't watched Rebels yet. I'm still on Clone Wars, but eventually I will get there. And I'd like to see some of this tie into Rebels. Because I'm pretty sure this should be, it's not a few years around the time of Rebels. Unless I'm wrong, it actually predates Rebels, but it's post Clone Wars, in which case, the next one will have some tie-ins to Rebels. But I think that covers it up. For me, I'm tired. It's late. It's a 2.5-hour movie. I've sat here for like around an hour. Yep, I'm not here, but it only shows that I'm recording now, not what my last chunk was. For like over an hour, and I think I'm done. I've said it all. I didn't even need my notes, which is a miracle. I've never really had that well. I think it was part of me was because I was writing them down. So that's good news for me. I didn't need my notes. I still rambled on for like an hour, but I kept myself in line on my own. Right. So, if you enjoyed this video, then please like, comment, and subscribe to see more reviews, reactions, Clone Wars reactions again eventually. So, I might be still on the side redirecting here. And that's it, folks. HighPriest signing out. And I will see you all next time!